guys, it's Chantel with Wildberry Quilting, and this is just a quick announcement. I have two things I wanted to let you guys know of. First is Buffy Laura 9946. You won the giveaway, but I haven't heard anything from you. It's been a while. I'm going to give you one more week to see this and get back to me, and then I'm going to have to move on to somebody else. I just can't hold on to it forever. And if you guys know her, let her know. If you're friends, let her know. And the other thing is the Midnight Rose Garden quilt that I was working on. I got about the first video worth of it filmed. I am not going to be releasing that, and I'm not going to be doing the sew along for that. I've run into far too many issues with it, and at this point in time, I'm not even sure whether I'm going to continue to make the quilt for myself. I'm sad to say that, and I'm not trying to badmouth the designer or anything like that. She's probably a lovely person, and she obviously makes absolutely gorgeous quilts and designs beautiful patterns, but I just can't make sense of her cutting instructions. I went through and spent like 4 days cutting out all of the pieces for this quilt. It was several thousand pieces, and I got to the first step and found out that I cut stuff wrong, and I had to order more of 3 different fabrics and go back and cut them differently. And I've moved on, I've got past that first portion, and then I moved on to the next flower, block that's in the quilt. And I cut it wrong. Now, again, I don't want to say anything bad about the designer. I do think that she has a way of explaining things that does not really mesh up with my brain. And maybe that won't be the case for you. Maybe you will sit down and look at the instructions and be like, this makes perfect sense. But I'm just going to give you, without showing you the pattern, because I don't want to cause problems and, give away something that somebody else has, ownership over, that's their property. But I'm just going to give you a small idea of what it is that is causing problems for me. And it starts with this box right here. And there we go. You can probably read it now. This portion down here at the bottom is where all of the trouble for me arises. It says sets are cut from the same print. Has a little asterisk next to it. And this is where I made my first mistake, is cutting instructions number 1. It is written like, let's see, can you see that? It is written like this. So 15 sets of 4 2 1/4 inch squares. 15 sets. And that is teal. Well, they gave us 3 or 4 different teals in the box. So it says 15 sets of 4 2 1/4 inch squares. And they mean 15 sets of whether it's 3 or 4 different teals that we got, it would be I don't know. This is just, to me, this is like breaking my brain. And I've never come across another quilting pattern or any kind of pattern, because I do, garment sewing as well. I've never come across a pattern that words it quite in this way. And it's not consistent with that way. In some steps it words it that way, in some steps it words it more so how you would expect, where it's like, cut 8 pieces that are this size of, this color. So the back and forth between the two different types of explanations, and specifically that explanation of it, calling things sets. Like there's a part down here where it says 33 sets of 2. And it's talking about 4 different types of fabric. So you've got like 4 different greens, and they want you to cut 33 sets of 2 that are this size. And it just broke my brain. And if you think that's going to break your brain, maybe look and see if you're able to get an overview of her patterns before you look at them in a quilt shop or something first before you purchase it, just so that you kind of have an idea. I mean, maybe it doesn't. Maybe that makes perfect sense to you. Everybody's brain works differently. And if that's the case, go for it. I'm sure you will end up with an absolutely gorgeous quilt at the end. At this point in time, I don't know if I even want to finish the quilt. I spent a lot of money on the quilt kit, and I spent more money buying those, additional fabrics I had to recut. And now I found out at the very next step that I would have to buy 3 more fabrics or 4 more fabrics or something. In total, it's 6 or 7 different fabrics I have to buy in excess to the quilt kit itself, because I misunderstood and I cut it wrong. And that's on me. That's my fault. I messed that up. But at this point, I don't even know if I cut up anything else wrong. I won't know until I get to that step. So do I want to order more fabric of the 3 that I know I need to get more of and recut? And then potentially at the next step, find out that I need to order more? Or do I just wash my hands of it and step away? At this point, I'm really frustrated. And it's not really something I can just put on the back burner and forget about for a year and then come back to, because I know that the fabric won't be available then. I'm already seeing, when I looked it up, I saw that one of the fabrics that I know I need to recut is down to the last like 2 yards at Fat Quarter Shop. So it's, if I want to try and continue with it, I would have to order it now. You tell me what you think. I'm on the verge of just walking away from it, and I would love to give it to somebody else who would appreciate it and who isn't frustrated with it. Maybe whose brain can interpret it a little bit different, and maybe they won't have a problem because maybe the rest of the cutting is fine and it's just that one thing, and that they would have to order more of and then recut, and then they can just continue on with the pattern and there will be nothing else confusing about it. But at this point, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just frustrated. And I'm rambling. So tell me what you think. I'm at a loss. Well, thank you for watching me break down here and lose my mind over this pattern. I hope you're having a better day than I am. But it is what it is. A learning experience, right? That's what it always is. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I promise the other videos are better. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.